your son has a severe case of autism. This is a lifelong condition. This is a hopeless condition. He's never going to be able to communicate in any meaningful way, or talk, or make friends, or go to a typical school.
I never want to look at my child and think or see terrible. I'm going to think hope. He emerged completely from this so-called hopeless and irreversible condition, actually becoming a highly verbal, an incredibly interactive, a wonderfully curious, awesomely bright youngster.
Hi, I'm Ron K. Kaufman, and I wrote my new book, Autism Breakthrough, to help you to give your child the same opportunity that I got. I get, as you can probably imagine, a lot of different kinds of questions about, well, what's it like to have this really different and unique past? And I got to tell you, it's a little strange, it's a little weird, it's a little different because, I came from this past where I wasn't even given a shot to speak, to go to school, to live my own life. And the only reason that actually I'm able to talk to you today is because my parents believed in me and they stuck by me. Nobody else stuck by me, and nobody else believed in me. And that is what made all the difference. And that is the incredible magic and dedication that you can bring to your child. And for me, it obviously resulted in my complete recovery from autism, which I am extraordinarily grateful for. But what I find even the most amazing part is that my parents worked with me. They gave me these opportunities. I then went on to live my life. But now, as the CEO of the Autism Treatment Center of America, I get to work with this incredible team of people who are so dedicated, who love what they do, who love these kids, and love parents like you who work with them. And I get to help parents like you in the very same way that my parents helped me when I was autistic and when I was little. And for me, that just blows my circuits a little bit. It's so amazing. It is such an honor to me. And I would just want you to know, as you learn these techniques and as you utilize them and you break new ground with your child, that for me it is just such an absolute pleasure and honor to be able to be a part of this journey with you.
Although there is a growing awareness about autism in Asia, many people remain uncertain about how to connect with people with autism, and that includes parents and caregivers.
One man has been on the receiving end of an unusual support system, and he's here in studio to share his journey, along with some ideas on ways to relate to those with autism. A warm welcome indeed to Ron Kaufman, Global Director of the Autism Treatment Center of America. Maybe, Ron, to start us off, can you just give us a brief understanding, a very quick understanding of autism?
Yeah, well, just that question is fraught with a lot of controversy because autism is often treated as a behavioral challenge or behavioral disorder where children, they look at the behaviors, where children do a lot of repetitive behaviors. They often don't look at people. They seem like they're in their own world. They might line up objects, spin objects. And so when we view autism this way as a behavioral issue, the idea is how do we stamp out these behaviors that people think look different and promote and train in the behaviors we want. But this is like a profound misunderstanding of autism because it's not a behavioral disorder. It's a social relational challenge where at the core, these kids and adults have difficulty communicating and connecting with other people.
Okay. You have a very interesting personal journey with autism. Tell us about that and also the support system that you had.
Yeah, I mean, holy cow, this is not an academic subject for me. This is very personal. Because when I was a kid, I was diagnosed with severe autism, and I'm talking about no language at all. I was totally, I'm watching your face, it's surprising, right? I was totally in my own world. I would rock back and forth and flap my hands like this all day. I had a tested IQ of less than 30. My parents were told this is how I'd be for the rest of my life. They were told to put me in an institution or a home. And they developed a program they called the Sunrise Program, spelled S-O-N because I was their son. And they worked with me for about 3.5 years. At the end of that period, I recovered completely without any trace of my former condition. I graduated from the Ivy League's Brown University, and I'm so grateful because now I work with a team of people at the Autism Treatment Center of America to help other parents in the very same way that my parents helped me.
Now, there's something called joining. It's an idea of yours, I believe?
It's actually one of the key things we do in the Sunrise program. We now do it in over 100 different countries with families from all over the world.
Tell us about it.
So what it is whenever people see children doing these repetitive so-called autistic behaviors, the first thing their parents and stuff are told to do is you've got to stop those behaviors. You've got to redirect that. And what we do is we do what you said, joining, which means rather than forcing these children to conform to a world they don't yet understand, we start by joining them in their world. So if a child is lining up objects, we get our own objects and line them up. If a child's repeating a line from a movie, we repeat that line from the same movie. And although people have said, well, isn't that going to make him do it more? What we see in practice is that the more we do this, the more these children interact with us, let us be part of their world, become more part of our world, and actually they end up doing those behaviors less, not more, but not because we stopped them, but because we communicated with them in a language they can understand.
The idea of recovering from autism, I'm sure you've heard a lot of detractors, a lot of criticism around this, especially from the medical community. So what you're saying is that people with autism can recover.
That is a brilliant rephrasing, for sure. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I know it's controversial. I really get that. I'm not trying to get up here and say, just do these techniques I'm saying, and I promise you, your child will turn out just like me. We've worked with a lot of kids who've turned out just like me, but we've also worked with a lot of kids who've made extraordinary improvements and have not fully recovered. So it's not about a promise. What it is it's saying we've seen that kids with autism are capable of extraordinary change, and yes, even complete recovery. There's a lot of kids after me who've recovered. And so when I'm going around, I'm doing lectures in Singapore this weekend and Saturday and Sunday, not only to give parents techniques to use, but also to try and change the conversation from autism is always a lifelong condition to these children and their brains are capable of limitless growth and change, including full recovery. We don't want to limit them in advance.
The thing is this, because there are also various degrees of autism too. So at what point do you say this is more a medical situation and less something that maybe the joining or the sunrise therapy could work?
Well, here's the thing. At the core, autism is a neurological disorder, right? And we come from this position, whenever anyone's doing a Sunrise program, and this is true when my parents were working with me, is that rather than just looking at the child and saying, we need to change this child, because it is a neurological issue, it's not like they're doing this because they feel like it, is that what's actually happening is we're trying to see things from the child's point of view. And a lot of these children, because of this neurological challenge, they're completely overwhelmed and overstimulated by all the sights, all the sounds, all that coming in. So trying to force them to behave like us when they're facing this really different situation inside their own brains isn't going to work. So what we're trying to say is, look, let's see things from their point of view. Let's join them in their worlds first. Let's create environments that are less overstimulating for them. Also, let's give them a little more control so that they can feel a sense of security, and from that security, they can make a lot more progress and interact more.
That's fantastic, and also a whole level of trust too. Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you for
having me. Come see the lecture this weekend.
We'll try our best to. Thank you. And we've been speaking to Ron Kaufman, Global Director of the Autism Treatment Center of America.
Ron is here in Singapore to give a talk on autism. And if you're interested to find out more, visit the website shown on your screen right now.
There is a national obsession with teaching children with autism or who have any kind of autism spectrum disorder, teaching them academic skills. No matter how awesomely and how diligently you work on academic skills with your child, it is never going to teach them to be social. It's never going to teach them to make a friend or laugh at a joke or really hug someone because they really love them or say I love you or really care about other people or be able to spontaneously interact with people. It's absolutely crucial to prioritize social before academic skills. Now, not social skills instead of academics. I'm not saying let's forget forever dealing with academics. But before we start seriously putting our energy into that, we want to really help our kids to be really adept socially. Because autism isn't a math or reading disorder. Autism is a social relational disorder. It's a disorder where our children or adults have difficulty creating connections and relations with people, right, among other things. And so what ends up happening is there's this, what you might call a weak part of their brain. Let's say they have a muscle here, like a neurological muscle, right, in their brain, to use a metaphor. And that muscle is weak. And that means they really need, that doesn't mean that it'll be weak forever, but it means they really need help in that area. We actually have something in the Sunrise program, and we teach this in the startup program. The startup program is our introductory 5-day training program. One of the things we focus on is showing you how to use something called the social developmental model. Area 1 is eye contact and all nonverbal communication. So gesturing, anything, there's a lot of our communication is nonverbal. Fundamental number 2 is verbal communication. Fundamental number 3 is interactive attention span. How long can your child or adult interact or stay involved in an activity with another person before they have to disconnect or do something different? Interactive attention span. And lastly, flexibility, which, by the way, is of the 4, by far the most overlooked. Instead of trying to help our children compensate for their autism, let's help them overcome the challenges that they have instead of compensating for the challenges that they have. Right? That's so important. It doesn't mean that's any guarantee that, yes, they'll overcome all of their social challenges. I'm not saying that. But certainly we'll never know how much they can overcome until we've spent some time and energy really focusing on helping them with that piece. Once we start focusing on this area, I think many of you who are watching will be really surprised at what our kids are capable of in that area. We have to start with this idea that if we want to help our children, we have to prioritize social goals before academic goals.
Everybody out there, my name is Kate Wild and I'm a teacher here at the Autism Treatment Center of America. I'm teaching the Sunrise program. Now, this video blog is dedicated to all you people out there who don't believe that you're playful. Maybe you've always felt like you're a really serious, practical, no-nonsense person. In fact, this morning I was talking to a dad who worked in the field of IT and who always believed that he was a deeply serious person. But since he had this beautiful 4-year-old son and decided to do a Sunrise program, he completely and radically changed himself, and now he's a really playful, joyous person, and he was completely and utterly motivated by wanting to connect with his son. Now, so for all of you out there who believe that you're born somehow either as a playful personality or a non-playful personality, I'm here to say today that that's not true. I'm going to give you 4 easy tips where you could become playful almost overnight. The first and the most important thing to do is to really believe that you can change, that you can become any person that you want to be. So if you believed you were not playful yesterday and you kind of had a very serious demeanor, that means nothing about who you're going to decide to be today. So the first thing is to believe that you can change and to believe that it's possible that you can be a really playful person. Now, once you really take that belief on board, then there are some actions that you can take. Because one is believing it, and then the other is putting it into effect. And it's kind of like practicing it, creating a really playful muscle. So one thing to do is what we call the hat effect. It's a very easy thing to do that's going to help you become more playful. So you take a hat, literally, it's very easy because all you do is you put your hat on. As you can see, I've got quite a few lovely hats here. You put a hat on, and once you have the hat on, then a couple of things happen. One is it gives you a little bit more license to be a little bit more silly, especially when you shake your head, it wobbles. So now you can say, it's the hat. It's got nothing to do with me. Secondly, what happens is when you wear a hat, not only are you a little looser, a little sillier, but then everybody who meets you looks at the hat and they begin to smile, and it becomes a little bit contagious. So you begin to smile a little bit more and be a little bit more playful. Now, it's also very useful with sound effects too, because you put a hat on and it just makes you want to do something like wow, wow. Makes you want to change your facial expressions, become more like a pirate. Da, da, da. You might even want to look through a telescope, or because you have a hat on. So, one thing to do is, wherever you are, when you're at home, whether you're in the playroom working with your child or not, let's say you're cooking, you're hoovering or vacuuming, or you're just putting your clothes away. Put a hat on and see if it helps you be a little bit more sillier. Alright, so that's one thing. If you go home tonight and put a hat on, see what happens. So that's the hat effect. Now the second thing is what we call the skipping effect. Because, now, so let's say you have to go from your living room to the kitchen to get a glass of water. Alright? Instead of just walking in the same old serious way, forget about walking, start skipping, because when you skip, it's really hard not to smile. Gives you a little energy, gets your blood pumping along. In fact, if you're watching right now, get up and skip on the spot while you watch this. And it makes everything a lot funner. It totally does. And then, you never know, you might become suddenly a little spontaneous and do a twirl in the middle of the skipping as you're going about your daily chores. Now imagine this. If you skip and you put a hat on, bzz, bzz, you never know what's going to happen. And your family are going to suddenly think there's something a little bit funny with you. But you know, it's just a playful effect. Alright, so those two things you can put into action to really practice your playful muscle, which I know is in every single person who's listening to this. Now, if you're really daring, right, so you started with the hat, you moved on to the skipping, you're really becoming more looser, more playful in your everyday life, then you can go to the third stage, which is the singing wherever you are, whatever you're singing about, what you're doing. Alright? So, imagine this. You're cooking breakfast. Maybe you're boiling an egg. Maybe you're scrambling the eggs, right? Whatever it is you're doing. So you're either cooking breakfast, maybe you're hoovering, maybe you're sweeping, maybe you're dusting, maybe you're just walking to your car, right? Putting the ignition on. Start singing about it. And the greatest thing about this is you don't have to be a good singer, because believe me, I very rarely sing in tune. And you don't have to be great at lyrics. You don't have to come up with amazing lyrics, because there are plenty of songs. Like Buddy Holly basically only had 3 or 4 words in all of the songs that he ever created. So, let's say I'm scrambling eggs. You just want to start singing, and you might even, be inspired to dance while you sing too. You just sing what you're doing. So it might go like this. I'm scrambling, yes I'm scrambling my eggs. Oh, I'm scrambling them for you. I'm reporting to one of my kids there. I'm scrambling, oh yes, I'm scrambling, stirring, 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 stirring my eggs. Oh yeah, oh I love to scramble my eggs. Do, 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 do. Now putting them on a plate. I'm putting them on a plate. Hey, and then you get your hat on and you skip them over to your child. And suddenly you are the most amazing, playful person because you put some of these simple things into action. So I dare you, go ahead, practice some of these things at home. Boo!
To infinity and beyond.
Didn't you want to keep looking at me? Hello everybody, my name is Kate and I am talking to you today from the Autism Treatment Center of America, home to the Sunrise program, and I am excited to talk about how you can make yourself more attractive when you're in the playroom with your child. So, one of the principles of the Sunrise program, one of the main things that we're trying to help our children do is to want to engage with us, to become more interested in an interactive way. So one of the things we want to do is make ourselves more fun and interesting to look at so that we can motivate our children to want to look at us. So one thing that we can do is become more interested in how we can create ourselves in an interesting way. So one thing that you can do is start to decorate yourself. All right, now, so for those of you out there who have children who, if you put a hat on, they don't want you to put that hat on. They take it off straight away. Or if you do something a little different to your face, if you even just wear a different necklace, they want you to look the same all the time. You want to take this a little bit slowly. So, first thing you can do, which is great for encouraging eye contact, is to put stickers on your face. Any type of sticker. And what I would encourage you to do is put on the sticker before you go into the playroom. And think about what your child might be motivated in. All right? So, if your child really likes letters, then we've got some really huge letters you can put on your face, some little tiny ones you can put on your face. If they're interested in dinosaurs, you can put dinosaurs on your face. Really think about what your child likes first. Then if your child doesn't usually want you to look a little different, then just put on a little tiny sticker to begin with. All right, so let's say we put on a little tiny A. And I'm going to put it close to my eyes because I'd really love it if my child looked at me. So I'm hoping it's on there. And so just put one on. Just a little one in and go in and see if your child notices it. And if your child allows that, then the idea is you want to build up looking different so that your child gets more flexible in allowing you to look different. And then you can start putting 2 on. Then the next day you could go in with 3 on. And you could actually spell different things on your face. You could mix it all up. If your child's totally into you changing and that's not a challenge for them, then you could put maybe 20 stickers on your face. And then if your child was interested in that, which I'm kind of convinced they're going to notice, then you could ask them to take different stickers off to spell certain words, and it would be really, really fun and exciting. So that's the sticker thing. Then here, what we've made
and they're just out of cardboard, and we always laminate things so we can use them again and again, is different hairstyles. So once you progress from the stickers, you can come into the playroom with a different hairstyle on, and I think I'm Goldilocks. You can even come in and introduce yourself as Goldilocks and start saying the story. And then here we just have a really fun kind of little baby kind of face. I'm not actually completely sure, but I'm sure this must be some kind of Zeus is a Dr. Seuss thing. So come in as Dr. Seuss and jump around the room. All right. Then you can progress on to hats. And we have all sorts of hats here. We have a jester hat. We have a crown hat. Then on to wigs. Because sometimes children find the wigs the most difficult. All right. And then you can put on big and interesting wigs to really help yourself become more fun and more attractive for your child to really want to look and engage with you. So have fun at home. This video blog is about helping you really vary all the different celebrations that you have for celebrating eye contact. Now you know why it's so important to celebrate eye contact, because we want our children to know we love it when they look at us and connect to us. And we want them to really see the warmth and the shininess that we feel when they look in our eyes. Sometimes what we've noticed is when we watch people celebrate, they can do the same celebration again and again and again. That can get a little monotonous for the children and actually for you also. So as a way to make it more exciting, more sincere, and to spice it up, we're going to demonstrate some different variations for you. So one could be a really sincere one. Oh, honey, it's so beautiful when you look at me.
Another one could be you getting really big when your child looks. So they look and you're like, oh, whoa, thank you, yes, that's amazing. I love your eyes.
And you could sing one. Oh, my lovely, I love it when you look in my eyes, right in my blue eyes.
You could also do a silent cheer for celebrating eye contact.
You could use different words. Instead of, oh, I love it, or thank you, you could say, you're looking at me fantastically, or amazingly, or superbly.
Or eyes, eyes, eyes!
Yes. And you can also do a little dance when they look at you. You can go like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Another thing you could do is you could go up and you could just explain to your child why it's so helpful that they looked. So you could say something like, you know, you just looked at me and that was really helpful because then I know you're playing a game with me. I love that.
Yes, yeah, I like that too. You could also whisper. I see your beautiful eyes. I feel so good when you look at me. All right, so enjoy really varying, celebrating your children when they look at you. Hey guys, hi. Now we're going to talk about green lights today. We're going to talk about really short, fleeting green lights and substantial green lights and how to respond to them.
Great. So here is a typical scenario that you often encounter in your playroom, where your child, in this example, is isming with a book. And of course, you do the joining. That was a beautiful little look. Woo, a nice little look. I love when you look at me. Oh, there was another little look.
So that was the short, fleeting green light.
Right, so with that kind of a short green light, all you have time to do is to celebrate the look. Now we're going to demonstrate to you a much more substantial green light, also with the eye contact. Okay? Hi, ooh. They're raking. Oh, that is so good. Oh, an octopus, an octopus. Okay. So this was a substantial green light where her attention came to me quite fully. Therefore, I was able to label things, show her things, and make myself much bigger.
All right, so when you're at home, look out and look for what type of green light are you getting? Are you getting just a little short one, or are you getting the more substantial one?
Great.
See you later.
Hi everybody. This week, beautiful Kate and I will talk and demonstrate to you a little bit about joining, and especially joining from a distance rather than joining being too close to the child. Okay? So Katie will be the child for a moment.
Okay, and I'm going to ism.
Yes.
I'm going to be isming with my pieces of bread.
Yes. Okay. And I am trying to join her, being very close. Okay, and as you can see, the child very consistently turned away from me. Turned her back towards me. And I, of course, in order to get eye contact or want to be in front of, with very good intentions, changed my position. But when we see that a child does this consistently, we simply use more distance. And it looks like this. Nice look. Ooh. Okay.
So if you see that your child is moving away from you, asking you to stop joining, the simple idea for you is just move away. Now, for the sake of the camera, Ged was a little bit away, but you feel free to go right across the other side of the room.
And what actually oftentimes happens is the child, as you can see, may look at you or may even come over to you to want an object. So remember, joining can be done from a distance.
Yes. All right. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Hi, this video blog is about joining. We're going to be doing 3 pointers to joining and how to make your joining more effective. Joining is such a key part to the Sunrise program and bonding through acceptance. So here we go.
Yes, now, William here, he's going to be the child and he's isming away. He's already isming away. So you're in your playroom, you notice your child is exclusive and isming. The first thing you want to do is get your own toys. That's really important. Now, William happened to take all the dinosaurs. We don't have those, but that's okay. You can get anything. I've got some people. So I'm going to get my own toy. Then I'm going to create some distance. So I'm going to move around 2 or 3 feet away, just like this, so that I'm not crowding him. And I'm going to begin to join from this distance. Then, the next things that I want to do is not stare at him while I'm doing this, but really create my own wonderful experience about doing this activity and really get into it and really do it myself. Just like that. So that's 3 easy pointers to make your joining more effective at home. All right, so see you later, guys.
Bye, guys.
What an amazing thing joining, doing your child's repetitious behavior with them, not trying to stop it, not trying to change it, but just truly experiencing the same enjoyment that they're getting from it. So not being a mirror, not being, not thinking about something else while I'm doing it, but fully engaged with my son, with his ball tossing. That I began to realize how beautiful that was and how meditative it was, and how our children are really showing us how to be in the moment and be insightful with their repetitious behavior, that it's really a meditation for them and not something to be stopped. And the concept of joining has been so beautiful for us in our playroom. That's been a gift to us to realize that we could join Jacob. And by this joining and pretty much becoming autistic ourselves in the playroom and going into that world of autism, we began to see from Jacob, he started looking at us. He started using the toilet. He was going from 30 seconds game to playing a game for 9 to 10 minutes. And we see this beautiful opening and interchange within each other's worlds. And then I realized that not to have a value judgment on his world, that his world isn't less or better than the world that I live in, that it's really the same world and we're sharing the space together. It's been a Sunrise program has just helped me immensely to love my child unconditionally, to accept him unconditionally, and to love and accept myself unconditionally as well.
My husband and I tried for years to have a child, and so when we finally had our son Micah, we were just ecstatic. Fast forward some years, I started seeing he just wasn't quite developing like other children. He wasn't speaking, he wasn't saying any words, he seemed very frustrated. When I gave him a little squishy toy car, he would just roll the wheels and look at the wheels and things that spin instead of actually using the car. My background is in special education, and once that happened, I knew that there was a very high probability that my son actually had autism. My husband and I were having a lot of problems, fighting a lot. We came at it from different angles. His was avoidance, and mine was this crazy, frenzied mom. I had to find an answer for my son. We received the free DVDs, and we sat down and watched them. They had such helpful, easy, simple tools to use that we could just do right there in our own home. And so my husband the very next day said, I'm just going to try this. And he tried one of the things, and he was super excited. Micah loved airplanes. And he said, Micah, look, it's an airplane, it's an airplane. And he was jumping around, he was really excited. And Micah stopped, and he turned around and stared right at him. And it was the very first time that Chris had ever had any kind of connection with his son, where Micah wasn't looking through him, but he was really connecting with him. He was really connecting with him, and he could just finally have that connection where he showed him his love. So my husband came back in the house, and he was really excited. He said, whatever this is, we have to go. My teacher instinct to me was like, I really want to see some curriculum or something on paper. And when we got here, one of the things they showed us was the developmental model. And it just broke down socialization and social criteria step by step by step. And I could clearly plot where my child was at any given time. One of the things he really enjoyed was just taking train cars and rolling them back and forth, and watching the wheels on them. So we began to join him once we got home. And he didn't know what to do with that. He took all the train cars and wouldn't let us have any of them. So we cut out pieces of paper, and we sat in the corner, and we slid our paper back and forth with Micah, just joining him wherever he could be, we wanted to be. So that's what we did. We had our paper train cars back and forth, and then from there, something incredible happened. Eventually, he let us have a train. And then from there, he let us actually put the train on his track. And then from there, he let us, you know, we had to go in a certain way, a certain direction. The flexibility wasn't quite there, but he was growing and he was expanding little by little. So from there, we took the trains and we made a zip line and we zipped him across the room and he loved it. So, and before he wouldn't even let us touch a train, he surpassed his IEP goals numerous times over. He surpassed his IEP goals that year and he just kept growing and growing and growing. And I started lining my cupboards with sheets of paper. And I just started writing the date and the changes we saw in our son. And it was incredible. I still have these pieces of paper that say, today, Micah asked Daddy, gummy bear? Like gummy bear? And Daddy said, yes, I like gummy bear. And he actually gave him a gummy bear, which was incredible. Now, my son, it's been 3 years since we started our Sunrise program. Most people think he is a neurotypical child. He talks all the time about all kinds of things. The relationship with my husband has completely changed. We both have a plan, we have a vision, we have a goal, and we're on the same team. We're going the same direction. Before Sunrise, I was frantic. I was anxious. Everything was hard. I remember sitting on my kitchen floor, setting my head back against the cupboard and just crying because I didn't know what to do. And after the Sunrise program, my life got really busy because I had a plan, but I felt so much lighter, so much freer. All that focus and energy could be focused in a very productive way, and that made a huge difference in our home life, in my son's life, and in my life.
Hey guys, now this video blog is going to focus on the Sunrise program principle of celebration. Now celebration is one of the most powerful, amazing techniques that you can use every single day with your child, every single moment with your child. Now oftentimes people think, yeah, I know about celebrating, give me another technique. But here in the Sunrise program, we believe and know that celebrating is one of the key and most important techniques to actually create bond and love and excitement in relationships, which is what we're focusing on with our children. Now, people say, yeah, I celebrate, I already do that. But then I might watch them for a whole hour in the room with their child and they only celebrated twice. But there were 100 different opportunities to do that. So when we, in the Sunrise program, talk about celebration, we mean it hugely, magnificently, many times. All right, so you want to work this muscle, this Sunrise muscle of celebration.
And there's so many places where we miss celebrating. Like, for example, if your child comes over and wants something from the shelf, I might get the thing down and say, hey, thank you for asking for my help. That might be a way I could do more celebration.
Yes, and also let's say they just come over and they lean on you. You could say, hey, honey, I love it when you snuggle with me. I like that.
So that's another way. Another way might be when you're joining your child comes over and actually takes one of your toys or your book that you're using and adds it to their pile. I might say, hey, thank you for noticing me and noticing my book or my object and including it in yours. Thank you very much.
Now, if you have a child who can easily talk to you and have conversations, and you might be having this great conversation, at the end of the conversation, don't forget to say, hey, we just talked together for 7 minutes. I loved that. I love that you shared your thoughts with me. This is so wonderful.
And one more. Sometimes our child might have developed their eye contact so it's so strong. And I talk to a lot of people who will say, my child is looking all the time. But you still periodically want to say, hey, I love that we played and we talked and you looked at me all the way through. Yes. Thank you so much.
So guys, you don't want to celebrate a little, not even a lot, but a huge, magnificent amount. All right, have fun celebrating.
Thanks, guys. Woo! Hi, we're going to be doing this video blog on building. I'm going to be showing you one particular aspect of the Sunrise Principle of building, and that's simply adding one thing when you get a green light. So as your child is being repetitious, self-stimulating, they're isming, they look at you, that's your opportunity to be more interesting and more inviting so that your child stays with you. All right, I'm going to show you this. Kate's going to be isming with the ball, and I'm going to show you 5 ways to do this. Hi, good luck. Woohoo! Yes! Yes! All right, that was 1. Oh, yeah. 2. Oh, thank you. Oh, what a lovely look. Look at this. Oh, yes. Yes. All right, here we go. Last one. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Whoa. So there you have 5. Have fun. Thank you. Bye.
Hello everybody, my name is Kate. I'm from the Autism Treatment Center of America, home to the Sunrise Program, and I'm a Sunrise Program teacher. And today what we're going to talk about is how you can do building ideas for children who are really into visual isms. Maybe they have a string that they like to twiddle round and round and round. Maybe they have a scarf that they like to shake. But they like to see things move. Maybe they pick up loads and loads of letters and drop them in front of their eyes. How can you build on that? What kind of things can you do that are like that, where we can give that visual stimulation for the children? So let's say your child is shaking their scarf and they're looking at it, or it might be shaking a whole string of beads or a piece of string, and they're isming away and you're isming away too, and you're shaking your scarf and you're looking at it, and they stop and they look over at you. What kind of things can you do to encourage your child to want to stay looking at you and stay involved in you? So one thing that we have in the playroom is we have small scarves like this. They're not very long. And you can get a packet of them where you can get a packet of 20 different colors. They are so useful and so wonderful. So what's really great about these is you can do many different things with them. So you could grab a whole bunch. I've got 3 colors here, but maybe you could grab 5 colors and shake 5 colors around. And if your child's still looking at you because you're shaking all these different colors, then you can just turn around like this and make it bigger and swoosh around like that. Something that you can do is you can just take one scarf and you can wave it like that in front of them, because it will create a wind and maybe they'd like the way that it feels. Maybe you can just take one and you can swish it along the floor and gently have it go over their feet. And maybe they'd like to not only just to look at that, but they'd also like the sensation of that. Maybe what you can do is you can take a whole load and drop it on your face like that. And maybe pick some more up and drop it on there. And if they're still looking at you and involved with you, maybe you can drop it down over their head. Oftentimes when children are on the floor and they like to look at things, dropping it from a great height, and they love to watch it go all the way down like that. So when you're building, the thing you want to do is do that physical activity. You're not asking your child to say anything. You're not asking them to look at you. What you're doing is making yourself more attractive when they first give you that green light. Now, once they're really, really involved in it, and they like the fact that you're getting closer and putting it over their feet, or they like the fact that you're putting it down onto their face, then you can stop and ask them to say a word like down or move or touch or the word scarf for you to get you to do that particular activity. But first of all, you want to do that activity and build up their motivation for this particular game. So get some scarves and enjoy playing with them in the playroom. Hello everybody!
Hi everybody! It's us again!
Yes it is, this is William.
And this is Kate.
And we are teachers at the Autism Treatment Center America, home to the Sunrise program. And today, this video blog, we are going to share with you the Sunrise program technique, the 3 E's, which is enthusiasm,
energy,
and excitement! Woo! Okay, so in the last blog that we did, we talked about how you can move your body to be dynamic and exciting and fantastic. Here, we're going to be talking about how you can really change and use your voice to be compelling and exciting and playful and downright silly in the playroom.
Ooh, yes. I like it.
Alright, so different ways to use your voice. First off, you can sing like dippity-doo-dah, dippity-day.
To be or not to be. You might not be able to sing, but you can try.
Exactly, because it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
So you can sing. You can also whisper.
Yes. What goes on up there? Up there. Oh, listen.
To create more anticipation. You can whistle. If you can, let's try it again. You can whistle.
If you can whistle.
Yes, exactly.
It's fun to try.
Exactly. You can do sound effects like woo-hoo! You get the idea, right?
Yes.
You can do animal sounds.
E-oh, e-oh. We know a lot of those.
Yeah. You can do what we call the crescendo, which is starting really low and getting really loud, like this. I'm getting really soft. It's kind of spooky.
Yes.
Okay. You can also do silly voices.
Well, the other day I was going down the road.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you Just downright silly.
Silly voice. And you know what? One with the voices, you could actually think of cartoons that your children might like and actually take some of those voices.
Yes, definitely. Like Donald Duck.
Yes.
And Mickey Mouse. Yeah. And last but not least, don't forget to use your beautiful, wonderful, regular voice in the playroom.
Yes.
Because that will definitely be your base.
Absolutely. That will be your centerpiece, and all these other things you can just come off and do those and vary your regular voice. Yes.
So have fun.
Yes, have fun, guys.
With using your voice in
with
the playroom.
using your voices.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
We are very excited to share with you some ideas that you can use in the playroom with your beautiful children. We are filming from the Autism Treatment Center of America, home of the Sunrise program. This is the beautiful Kim, and my name is Kate, and we are going to share with you the concepts of using moving away and anticipation within a game. All right, so this is talking about games that are already in progress and how we can use moving away and anticipation to enhance the interaction that you get within the game that you're playing, to lengthen eye contact and also help with clarity of speech and get the most out of the motivation that your child has so that you can really deepen the quality of connection that you get within the game that you're playing. So the first concept that me and Kim are going to demonstrate to you is the idea of moving away in a game. And we're going to demonstrate that during a game of squeeze. So for those of you who don't really squeeze your child, this could be something that you could try at home. Oftentimes our children, they love it when we squeeze their hands, when we squeeze their heads, when we squeeze their feet. We're going to demonstrate this within a squeeze game. Now Kim is going to pretend to be a beautiful child. And we're already in a squeeze game. So she already wants it, she already likes it, and I'm squeezing her feet. All right, so this is moving away within a game. All right, so first off, to show you how you can encourage more eye contact by moving away. So I'm squeezing her foot, and I know that she wants me to squeeze her foot because she keeps giving it to me, right? And she seems to like it, but she's not looking at me much. She's kind of looking down. In a way, sometimes she's staring off at the ceiling. But when I stop the squeeze, she gives it back to me. So I know that she wants it, so I want to enhance more eye contact. So I'm going to move away as a way to encourage that. So squeeze, 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 and I might move away and put my hands around my face. I'm going to squeeze you. Yes, you looked at me. The more you look at me, the more I squeeze your foot. Oh, I like that when you look at me. And then usually when you go back to squeezing, children kind of look away and they stare a bit more. But I'm still squeeze, 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 and then I'm going to move away again. Hey, look here and I'll squeeze you. Yes, right here, I'm going to squeeze it. Yes! Da, 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 da. So as I'm moving towards two, there's much more eye contact that you can get when you move away in the game. So that's moving away to encourage eye contact. You can also move away so that in a game, so that you can request more. So here, we're going to be working on clarity of speech, clear single words. So Kim, she can say ease, but I want to really, and she can say that really, really well, and I want to help her and encourage her to move on to saying squeeze, the whole word. So I'm going to move away so that I have more opportunities to request. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. I move away so I can say squeeze. Ease. Oh, I'm going to celebrate that. Fantastic. All right, but because I'm away and she's still looking at me, still involved, I get more opportunity to ask her to be clearer. Now, that was awesome. You said E. Now we'll say squeeze. E. Oh, brilliant. To celebrate that effort, I get to ask her again. Now say squeeze. Put the S. Go to put your tongue behind your teeth. Squeeze. Squeeze! Woo! Yay! That was fantastic. Well done. So by moving away, I had more opportunity to keep on requesting. Now, she actually said the word because she's very smart. Yes. But even if she hadn't said it, maybe at the third or fourth time, I'd have always squeezed her foot anyway. Given her a big squeeze, celebrated for trying, and then gone, moved away again if she was still motivated. And then maybe I'd have 3 more chances to request from her. So that's how you can lengthen the amount of times you can request within a game. All right, so now we're going to use share the idea about using anticipation within a game or in progress. So go, take it away, Kimmy.
All right, so what we're going to use for this is actually a game of bubbles. So here, a lot of our kids are really motivated for bubbles and watching them come out as we blow them. So here, instead of just continually blowing the bubbles out like this, wow, Kate is very much into the bubbles. So I want to really draw out this attention span and really bring her in the game with me. And the way I can do that is by using anticipation. So here we go. You can take your regular bubble wand and move your body around the room in really exciting ways. And I'll demonstrate. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Oh, good job, Kate. And then I can do that again in many different ways. I can move really quickly back and then slowly bring myself back into blowing bubbles for Kate. Whoa! I can jump up and say, bu, 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 bu. Bubbles! Whoop. And hopefully your bubble wand works. Whoa! There we go. And so the more I vary my voice and the more I use my body to kind of move away and then slowly move forward towards Kate, I'm actually giving her the opportunity to really expand the game of bubbles and create this really rich interaction.
Great. So with anticipation, there's so much more you can do just before you blow the bubble. All right, so enjoy using anticipation and moving away in your games in the playroom, and let us know how it goes. Bye! Hey guys! Bye. Now today we're going to talk about how can you respond to language. So your child, you're not engaged with them, they're wandering around, they're exclusive, and they're saying what seems to be certain random language. And you're not sure what it is, you don't understand it. How can you respond with an action to this? All right, so we're going to demonstrate it today.
Excellent.
Me and Gaz. And I'm going to be the child.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to get up and I'm going to be exclusive, wandering around. Thomas and Gordon are off for the day.
Choo, 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 they're off for the day. Choo, 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 choo.
Counting squares.
Counting squares, counting squares. 1 square. 2 squares. 3
squares. 4 squares.
Nice, beautiful.
Okay, so the important thing here is you just do your best. This isn't even a square, it's a tissue box. Doesn't matter. Whatever you hear, do your best to act it out and respond to. You don't have to understand where it came from, what it is, what it means. You just want to respond, just like Gerd did.
Wonderful.
All right. See you later, guys.
Bye.
My name is Kate. This is Becky. We are both Sunrise Program teachers here at the Autism Treatment Center of America. And the topic of this video blog is going to be how to help your child use more vocalizations, use clear single words, and really use their sounds to communicate and talk to the people around them. Now, one of the most effective, amazing techniques to help your child communicate more is simply to respond to their sounds. Now, not just some of their sounds, all of their sounds, to respond with a clear celebration and an action. Now, when we do that consistently with our children, we give them the message that their sounds are meaningful, and people do things when they make sounds. People go get things. People do jump up and down, and it changes the world. And that is one of the reasons why you and me talk. because when we talk, somebody responds. So this is all just demonstrating how you can respond to your child's sounds when you're working with them in the playroom. Now, Becky is going to be our child, and she's going to be isming away. And while she isms away, she's going to make a sound, and I'm going to respond to that. I'm first going to celebrate, then I'm going to respond with an action, so you can see what it could look like for you to respond to your children. All right, let's do it. So I'm joining away here. E. That was a great sound. Did you want eat? Eat. You said E, Becky. That was awesome. I got you an eat because you said E. Didn't seem to respond, so I put that back. But the most important thing. You're speaking again. Yes, you said "ka." I'm gonna clap, 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 because you said "ka, ka, 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 ka." Didn't respond, so I'm going to go back to isming. That was beautiful. Did you say "go get a marker"? Did you say "go get a marker"? Here. Love that you said that. You looked at them. See these? I got these because you said, yeah, because you said marker. That was great. All right, thanks, Becky. So she responded to the markers, which was great and wonderful. She didn't respond to the others, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that we respond. And when we respond, we really communicate that to our children, that their language is important and meaningful to us. And the more that we can communicate that, the more likely our children will use their language more. So have fun responding and responding and responding with action and celebration to your children's language.
Hello, hi. This video blog is going to be about staying with a boundary that you set for your child. Okay? In this situation, Kate is going to be the child. She's crying. She wants a cookie. I have already given her a bunch of cookies already, and I've decided it's time to stop. She's had too many already. Now she's going to be crying for it, and I'm going to show you what to do. The first thing you're going to see is me being comfortable, then moving slowly, and then offering alternatives. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, yeah. Honey, we don't have any more cookies.
Oh, cookie!
I can give you a rice cake.
No, cookie!
Okay, okay.
Cookie!
Well, I have a piece of apple. Apple? No, okay. Well, we don't have any more cookies, but I do have... I can give you a tomato. Is that no? Okay, okay. So, you see, even as Kate escalated and cried more, your child might do the same. But it's important you stick with your boundary. Otherwise, if I gave her a cookie now, I show Kate she has to cry and cry really loud to get the cookie, and I encourage her to keep crying in the future to get what she wants. It's important we stay with our boundaries. Have fun setting your next boundary. Bye, guys.
This video is about how we can take care of our children when they have things in their hands and then on certain objects that you don't actually want them to have. Alright, so in this case, we have our little friendly Gad child here chewing on a bottle of hand sanitizer. We don't really want him to have that. How can we still give the concept of giving control and being friendly with our children, like giving an alternative? So this is you do. So your child has something you don't want them to do. You want to be swift and kind of quick about this, and you want to give an alternative. He's got a bottle, I've got a bottle. I might say, here, take this. I'm going to put this away because this isn't going to be good for your tummy. All right, so I'm going to give an explanation as to why I've given an alternative. So we're still helping our children have what they wanted, which is he wanted to chew on a bottle. He got a bottle to chew on, and we took care of the other thing. The important thing is to be quick and loving with it.
Hi everybody, my name is Gert. I'm a Sunrise program teacher, and today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects in the world, which is tantrums. Yay! One of my favorite things to do when I am at an outreach with families is when I hear a child tantrum in the playroom. I oftentimes interrupt the training sessions right in that moment because I can't wait to get in the playroom in the middle of the tantrum. And here is why. Okay? Every time I hear a tantrum, in my mind I go, opportunity, opportunity, because this is a beautiful moment to teach your child that tantruming doesn't work for them. Which means when I go in the playroom, or anytime you're in a situation when a child tantrums, us slowing down, being non-responsive, not understanding what the tantrums mean, is not done because we want to stop or slow down the tantrum. It is because we have an amazing opportunity to teach the child that this doesn't work. It's not useful for the child. So the next time when you see or hear your child tantrum, think opportunity, opportunity, and go in the playroom or be there with your child, really believing that this is an extraordinary moment to teach something to your child that will last them for the rest of their life. So opportunity, opportunity, have fun with it. Bye.
You love your kid. I know that. I don't have any doubt about that. Just like we loved Ron and we loved Jade, our granddaughter. That love is part of the fuel that will allow you to take your child's hand and start to climb a mountain. Now, is it going to be easy? It's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of your life force. Is it going to be quick? Gosh, hey, listen, if we could find a way for it to be quick, like you had a magic pill or something like that, man, I would do everything I could to help it be quick. But I'm going to suggest it probably is going to be a long haul. But it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to create a level of communion and connection between you and your family members and your child on the autism spectrum that you've never experienced in your life. Make this the journey of your life, because it's going to be the journey of your life. And we at the Autism Treatment Center of America and we at the Sunrise Program, man, we are walking beside you and we're going to help you go up that mountain. Thanks, guys.